The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits. What's up, Octo Nation? It's Charlie. I'm going to be your host for today. Today we're looking at how to win during the stock market crash and handle crashing like a boss. Okay? First step, if you haven't, go watch my video, How to Make Money on the Red Days. That is step number one. What does that basically say? To buy SPACs, buy the common shares when they aren't cool yet. They have a floor and you have almost zero risk when you buy them new. Okay. Now, if you look at some SPACs back in March, let's go take a look, shall we? Let's see if we can find one. How about a popular one? How about like Opus? Let's see. Let's see what Opus did in March. You see this? What happened in March? Nothing. Opus pretty much stayed exactly where it was. It's pretty much unaffected. Okay, I'm thinking it was right around like $10, 10, 20 or whatever. Didn't even move. That's why. That's why I'm buying SPACs right now. Okay, that's why I'm focusing on that for y'all. Okay. All right. First question to ask yourself is, has it really crashed? First thing you got to do is simply zoom out of the chart that you're looking at. Look at the 6 month, the 1 year. Does it still look bad then? Look at the 100, the 200, and the 50-day moving average. Has it blown past them? Those are the questions you got to ask yourself, okay? If you're super zoomed into something and you're like, oh my gosh, you're only zoomed into here, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it looks like it's just absolutely tanking to eternity, okay? Sometimes all you got to do is just zoom on out. Like if you're right here and you're like, look how terrible this looks. It's totally gone. But if you zoom out, you're like, oh, it's really not that bad. Yeah, you gotta do that. I catch myself doing that all the time, thinking something's a big deal. It looks terrible, and then I look over, I'll measure it, and it's only actually down like 5% or 2%. I'm like, oh, I just gotta zoom out. It's all good. Or if it's riding that channel up, if it's riding that perfect channel up, like we've taken a look at SPY many times, it's probably perfectly fine. Okay. Now, if it breaks way below that, like I said, it goes way past like the 100-day moving average and it's way down. That's when you really got to start taking a look at some other options. Okay. Now, the first one I want to talk about too is called taking profits. Okay. Now, in normal market conditions, I usually try and go by a rule I made where I say if it's 50% green, okay, so if the stock I had bought has gone up 50%, I'm 50% green, I should take out 50% of my shares, okay? And then I kind of let it ride and go from there. Most of the time I try to do, then at 75%, once it hits 75% green, make sure I'm 75% out. That way I only have 25% left and I can let it ride forever, and just keep my profits already made from before and just let it ride. Or at that point, if I want to, I can just take it 100%, but 50 at 50 or 75 and 70 at 75, okay, or both. However, in this current market, I am switching that, okay, and I am going to start doing at 20% green, take 50% of my shares out. At 50% green, I'm going to take 75 to 100% of my shares out. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, I'm perfectly fine, making even 20% on your money, as fast as we're making it on the stocks we're swing trading here. I'll take that all day long. Okay. And then, like I said, you can take 20% at 50, or at 50, take 75 or 100, or you could take 100% out at 20. But I would say in this market to be more conservative with your gains, okay? Just not to get as greedy as we might be used to in the SPAC market, especially now, even with the SPACs, because they're just a lot more volatile even the past month or two. It's just been nuts. So to do this, you have to put in sell orders right after you buy it. Okay, don't wait and do it right away. So what do I mean? I'm guilty of this too. I'll buy a stock and I'll be like, all right, I know this thing is going to go up. Once it goes up, then I'll take my profits. What happens? It goes up about 50% or 30%. I'm like, oh, it's probably going to go higher. It's probably going to go higher. An hour later, what happens? it went right back down, to maybe 5% green. And I think, oh my gosh. So the only way to set yourself up to succeed is to go ahead and put your sells in. Yeah. Put your sells in, and stagger it up. Sell 20% of your shares here, 50% of your shares here. Just do it. Right after you buy it, just get in the habit of doing that. Okay. That's going to protect you from the green. Okay. Now, here's another one which people are still trying to do, and I'm not even going to do it anymore in this market. Okay, I don't think it's smart. I don't think there's a way I can look at it that makes more sense than just keeping what I have. All right. So what is this? Do not average down in the current market. Don't average down. Okay. So what is that? What does average down mean? Like, say a stock's at $15 and you bought it at 15. Okay, you FOMO'd in, it started at 10, it went to 15, you FOMO'd in, you bought it at 15, it starts going down. It gets down to like 14 or 13.5, and you're like, okay, I'm totally red, but you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna buy some more. I believe in this company, I like the CEO, whatever emotions you have involved in it, you're letting that ride and take care of your, and mess up your mental thought process. Likely you're FOMOing down. Yes, you're FOMOing down, okay? So what am I getting by this? Like, let's say the stock is at $15, okay? And it started at 10, and in a couple days it went up to 15. You bought right at the top, 15. It goes down to like $13.50, and you're like, you know what? I believe in the company. I believe in the CEO. I'm gonna go ahead and buy more. I know it's gonna go up. I just have a feeling it's gonna keep going up. What do? You buy more at 13.5, okay? What happens? It keeps going down. Your fear of missing out of it even going down. I don't think it's good doing that right now. I just don't. Just take it for what it is, okay? And either just hold it for long and just hope it goes back up, or just pull out. Yeah? I don't think averaging down is good in this market, because if you look at a lot of these stocks, most of them are not going back up. Okay, they're getting the crazy hype bubbles up, especially in the SPACs, and they start going down, and they're not recovering. They may over time, in months and months out, but not in the short term. So figure that out. All right. So chances are the hype is over, and you are just chasing or grabbing a falling knife. Okay, you ever heard the term? You don't want to be caught grabbing or trying to grab a falling knife. You knock a knife off the table, you don't want to try and grab it. You're probably going to cut your hand. You might save the floor, but you might cut your hand, so forget it. All right? Either pull out and move on, or hold and wait for another pop. Have extra float cash in your brokerage account. Okay? If you don't, your broker will start selling your stocks for you and might pull you out of super long, possible lifelong held dividend stocks you never wanted to sell. Don't use margin. Okay? Just don't right now. Just don't. Okay? If you need more money, then go get it. All right? Not from another loan center either. Don't pull out money on a credit card and then throw it into your Schwab or your TD or your Webull or your Robinhood. Okay? We all know how to make more money, but how many of us are willing to actually go and get it, even if it puts us out of our comfort zone? Let's be real. Okay? Even if it means you have to get another job, or get a job that pays more that you don't like doing. That's how I think you should look at margin. Okay? You need to earn that margin, because using margin all the time is not a good mindset. It's a gambler's mindset. Okay? You could do it, yeah, you can make money, and you think you're in a rock solid one, but once you're not in a rock solid one you thought was rock solid, you could you don't want to hurt yourself. All right? I'm here to protect you and try to help y'all. Okay? In the long big picture, if you manage your risk correctly, the profits are going to take care of themselves. Okay? If you just go buy this stuff, the profits will just start coming. The green will keep going up. All right? You can set up stop losses or trailing stop losses. Okay? So put in sell orders at a comfortable managed risk you can handle. Not what someone else can handle. Okay? even for me, I mean, even with the profit going up, it's the same way. Okay. Can you handle 5%? Can you handle losing 50% of your money? Or could you handle losing 25% or maybe even 2%, maybe 5%, whatever. Only you can prevent the forest fires for your bank account, all right? You got to figure out what you're honestly comfortable losing and what you actually can, okay? And that's up to you, and you just got to honestly calculate that out. What's the risk worth to you for the potential gain, okay? All right, the fun part, let's go shopping, okay? Now, if the SPY or the QQQ finally start to break trend and Hulk has officially started smashing downwards, okay, the market's going down, okay, you can do some of these. All right, now warning, these are totally riskers, okay? The first one I'm going to bring up is a play that you can make a ton of money on real fast, but you can also lose money real fast, okay? So this is considered a 3 times leveraged bear to the QQQ. So what does that mean? That means that when the QQQ is going down, this thing goes 3x the amount down. So if QQQ ends up going down, you bought here, QQQ goes down 10%, which is terrible. That'd be crazy. That means, the whole thing is probably coming down. And you bought then, you're going to actually go up 30%. So QQQ goes down. This is going to go up 3x. So it's going to go up 30%. The ticker for that is SQQQ. Okay, that's going to follow. That's the big tech sector. All right. I think no matter what, I mean, tech is for sure the big guy holding up for most of the market right now. Okay, the big tech guys for sure. Okay. I think the smarter one might be the SPY, the S&P, because even though it's mostly made up of QQQ, it still has, a further negative run to go, I think, versus QQQ. So SPY does have a negative 3x bear share ETF, and that ticker is SPXS. Let's take a look at those, shall we? So here is the QQQ. All right, see how it's going up here. Now in July we took a big down. QQQ is doing solid. It's got a nice channel right now. It's going up. It's still going up. Now here is SQQ, the opposite. See how it goes down? It's going down. See, it's got the same consolidation, but it's going down. And remember, this is that 3x volatility, so 3 times. So QQQ goes up 10, SQQQ going to go down like 30%, okay? And then here we got SPY, okay? S&P 500. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out a year. You can see with the March dive, so if you would have bought the SPXS up here, you would have been good because you would have gone 3x this down, but it would have been going up instead. So we've been riding this channel up here. Everything's looking good, but guess what? You go to SPX, it's the polar opposite. So see, if you were to have bought this back like March 1st, you would have had like a 90% gain almost. Okay? Actually more than that, 3x whatever it was, which is huge. Let's see how it's going down. So you can even put buy orders on this above it, like I talk about how I do. I put a buy order. I'm willing to overpay 5% of what something is at, if that means I don't have to tie up my money until it's on its way up. So you can actually do like trailing buys on these. So you can put a buy order, 5% above it, just in case you're sleeping or you're out walking your dog or whatever, and you don't know that the market is going to explode. You can put a buy-in 5% above this to buy X amount of shares, and then so if something parabolic happens or a meteor hits over in the other side of the world and you didn't feel it, you didn't know about it, it'll catch that on the way up, boom, grab you, and then 3x you. The opposite of what the SPY's doing. Okay? Now, let's see what else we got. Now, a way safer play during the Hulk smash is TLT. I remember we've been talking about this a little bit. I'm going to show you, these are like the bonds, okay? Let's go over to TLT. So let's take a look at what this did in, is this March? Yeah, here we go. All right. So as you can see, over in March, this thing actually goes up, okay? Because when there's extreme volatility, this red line here is actually the S&P. So when people get scared, they go to TLT. And so you will get a spike off it. It's not going to be the 3x though. I mean, it's not going to be as huge as like the 3x ETFs, which are totally scary because you can lose that 3x just as fast also. But TLT, you know, when there's extreme market volatility, it likes to jump up. Now, keep in mind that it also likes to jump down, okay? So you can see this red line here. This is actually an overlay of the S&P 500. Okay, so you can see the second S&P started tanking down, what happened? TLT started zooming up. But what happened to it? Yeah, right when it got halfway done tanking the S&P, people started dumping the TLT also. So don't get it twisted and think that this is just a total safe haven either. Yeah, you're usually going to get a run up, but people are also going to be playing it, and after they make their was about a 30% gain here, okay, they dumped, okay? But it's just something to ride, you know, something that you could put in a buy or whatever if it goes above a certain amount, and then try to catch it on the way. Let's see what happened in 2008. Okay, so here's 2008. And again, the red is the S&P, so the S&P tanked in the great financial crisis, and guess what happened? The TLT went up, did the opposite. So again, this one was actually, it almost followed it exactly, so it wasn't as aggressive of a sell-off that happened up here in March, but it also wasn't as big of a gain either. I don't think, well, let's see, we got 38% up. I guess it was about the same. So something to watch, TLT, all right? And you can also get what's called like treasury bills, T-bills, T-bonds, T-bills. You ever heard of those? Okay. There's lots of options out there. I'm leaving a website for you guys if you want to do that. These are like government-backed bonds and stuff. They're boring. But, you know, if you want to slightly safeguard your money a little bit, you can get into like a 3-year treasury bond, T-bond, and you can just buy them at like auction at percents and all that. So check that out if you want. All right, now we're just going to get into some news. First of all, one quick house cleaning thing I just want to talk about. If you see anything like this, just don't believe it, okay? So what's going on? Of course, the second I start saying BIT space COIN, okay? I started getting spammed out here in the comments on the videos. So like, you know, someone will be like, yeah, I can't believe it. The hash rate, yada, yada, but I recommend John Jameson Financial. And then he's gonna have like 60 comments of people be like, I used John Jameson Financial too, and he was great, okay? Don't believe that stuff, all right? And if you got a question, just post a comment, and hopefully people can help me out with the comments too. You know, if you see something like that, you know, just, it ain't real, all right? Just ask me and I'll tell you. Anyways, I've been trying to like report these guys that are trying to spam the channel, but just be aware, okay? If they're talking to this crazy stuff about joining this dude over here, don't believe it, all right? Now, we got some decent news coming in, all right? I watched the whole Trump talk today, and he said, temporary extension on unemployment benefits, okay? So that's good. You know, he's saying we're gonna give more employment benefits. We all know that, you don't all know, but they did come out and say that they're probably gonna be lower than they were before, like they were 600 extra, and they're gonna be like 200 extra or something like that. So at least they extended them though. It's better than nothing, you know? People are probably getting greedy and still spending like crazy on dumb things. You know, you can see the numbers. All right, people are still buying Apple stuff. They shouldn't be right now. They should be holding on to their money. Okay. He also said something to stop evictions, for homeowners and renters. So he's still working on something to help with that. You know, so you got renters that aren't paying, then you got the people who own the renters who are like, okay, now I got my mortgage and now the people aren't paying that, so what do I do? So they're still working on a bill for that, so that's also positive. He also said $105 billion for schools to safely reopen. So they're coming out with a plan. They're going to give out $105 billion to help schools reopen safely. Okay, so that's good. And thank God, the kids aren't really been affected by this whatsoever. So that's fantastic. So even more precaution, we probably should be good to go. Be throwing dodgeballs in no time. Okay. He also said, we want to get money to people. It's not their fault they lost their job. So got a positive there. Now, if you want to watch the Trump talk, at about 43 minutes into the speech, he started saying, earlier today, I visited the Red Cross headquarters to talk about plasma therapy, which is a tremendous thing that they are looking at. And they have a lot of experience with it, potentially life-saving treatments that infuse sick patients with powerful antibodies donated by those who have recovered successfully from the disease. He's talking about plasma. All right. They're finding out they can use that to help. He said, and I quote, "We need plasma. We are asking to donate. It's something that has been very effective, and we need plasma from those that were infected and successfully recovered. As most people do. Plasma is one of many things promising treatments my administration is accelerating." Okay, so we're getting big on the plasma. Yeah, they're finding out that basically if you had the thing and you recover from it, they can take your plasma and somehow figure out how to use that to make the better treatment, or maybe infuse people with some of your plasma, or something like that. Okay. He also did name drop Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. This thing has already ran like crazy since March, 464 on up to 631. I usually don't touch pharmaceutical stuff, and this is way too far gone for me, and I will not be touching this, but he did name drop it. People are starting to hype this ticker SONN, which is Sonnet Biotherapeutics, because of what Trump said today about plasma. Okay? Now, you can look more into this. I definitely suggest you do, but Sonnet has successfully manufactured and initiated animal testing of SONN 1010 for select virology applications. The company has initiated work on preliminary viral challenges studies in mice using H1N1 model, with data expecting during the second quarter of 2020. If successful, a mouse adapted SARS-CoV cerveza challenge model study will follow, which we expect would help the company develop a clinical trial strategy using FHAB in a adjuvant capacity paired with the vaccine. So, these guys are kind of front running, it seems like, the plasma model for help with all this. Do more research on it, but that's why this stock is getting hyped, SONN. One to take a look at. It had some after hours action also. I think it was up like 15%. So it's something that could have a nice pop tomorrow, but manage your risk, figure out if it's worth it. Just take a look at it. What it does in the morning is what I would maybe say. I might jump in, I might not. I don't like pharmaceutical stuff or medical stuff. But other news, we got the big tech. They whooped on the earnings. They just whooped them. All right. QQQ should pop tomorrow. Should. Okay. QQQ, regardless, QQQ is going to probably remain bull for sure. Okay. APL, Apple. All right. They announced doing a 4-to-1 reverse stock split. That is excellent news. Because when stocks get so high, the beginning traders and whatnot are people who just aren't willing to risk that much and stuff like that. Now they can maybe get a little bit of piece of the pie and, get one full share finally, so that's cool. It'll help some people get in. And usually when these reverses happen, you do get some volatility, whether it's north or south. It's usually a little bit north, but people are going to be taking their profits. Okay. So you should be taking yours too if you make some. You can always buy in later, right? Amazon, they were up 3%. The revenue's up 40% year to year of Q2. Man, you are not going to stop that freight train, man. Okay. Facebook, even though people were pulling ads or whatever, they were still up 1.6% for Q2. So it's good. QQQ is going to be rocking. All right. Last but not least, we got Fisker, who came out with a 4-pack car teaser. And I thought this was an awesome rendering going on here. So this is the one we already know about, the Ocean. We don't know what this purple thing is, but this looks like a sportier version of this. In fact, is it a two-door? I don't know. Kind of looks like a two-door, yeah. That's crazy. And then we got a four-door, looks like a Tesla Crusher, okay? Look at those doors, man. I think it's dope. But in the background there, you've got a truck. And I think it looks nice. I think it's got some sharp lines. I like that. I don't like the roundy Ford look. I like the sharp lines like a Chevy, you know, so cool, good on them. If there's any other plays y'all want me to take a look at or something I'm totally missing, put it down in the comments and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't heard about the contest that I'm doing, I'm actually giving away some silver. So from now until we hit 1,000 subscribers, every time you make a comment, you're directly entered into winning. So make a comment and you'll directly be entered. And once we hit 1,000, I'll announce it that day or the following day who won it, and then I'll ship it on out. And hopefully we'll get a very happy winner. So thanks again. I have a bunch more videos I'm working on. I'm gonna do another one that's like, what are you gonna do when the market is now fully crashed? Now what do you do with your money? I'm gonna come out with that one here. I'm working on that. I got a bunch more, tons and tons of new SPACs are dropping. I'm skipping over ones that I don't think are worth even talking about, at least for now. But we got a lot in the pocket. So thanks again for all the support, and everyone have a good night.